The world has never seen anyone like Usain Bolt, and in all likelihood, they never will again. Olympic gold medals, world titles, world records. The Jamaican is the most recognizable sportsman on the planet. Sergei Bubka inspired Yelena Isinbayeva to follow in his footsteps and take pole vault to the masses. She did that and then some. New Zealand is known for fighting above its weight in the sporting arena. In Valerie Adams, it found its ultimate warrior. This is the Immortals. The acronym GOAT is reserved for a select few. Every sport has one, and it's often the subject of much debate. Not in track and field. There is no argument. Usain Bolt is the greatest of all time. They say the hardest is often the most satisfying.
Straight just in front of Miller.
For Usain Bolt, the 2015 World Championships presented his greatest challenge. The fastest man on the planet was showing signs of being human. He seemingly hadn't missed a beat since announcing himself at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, where he won the 100-meter and 200-meter Olympic titles in world record time. A false start in the 100-meter final at the 2011 World Championships in Daegu was the only real glitch on his golden CV. But injuries had put him behind the 8-ball in 2015, and a legitimate challenger had emerged, American Justin Gatlin. The one time I've ever really doubted myself was 2015. That season for me was one of my roughest seasons. The showdown was billed as good versus evil, given the sport was on its knees after lurching from one drug controversy to the next. Gatlin had served 2 bans for taking performance-enhancing drugs, the last for testosterone in 2006, which resulted in a 4-year ban. At 33, he was running faster than he ever had, coming into the championships in Beijing as clearly the fastest. Bolt was underdone, but he wasn't giving up. He knew the ramifications, the symbolism of the 100-meter final, and was acutely aware of the public sentiment. He needed to win to save the sport. Despite Gatlin producing easily the fastest semi-final, when it mattered most, it was Bolt who found something in the final, winning the title by 1/100th of a second.
For me, that's what I'm here for. I told you guys I'm here to show the world that I'm the best. I want to be undoubtedly one of the greatest sprinters ever to have ever competed in this sport, and that's my aim. I have 2 more seasons to go, and I'll just continue winning and dominating.
He repeated the dose in the 200 meters, and then won his 11th world title in the 4x100-meter relay.
Every time I think he can't do anything more, he surpasses it. And look, I think Rio will probably be the crowning glory. Although the World Championships last year, with all that pressure and all that expectation having to take on Justin Gatlin, that was huge. That was huge. I remember sitting in the stands and feeling nervous for him because, again, look, he's trying to achieve stuff for him, but at that point, at that moment, he probably saved the sport. So that kind of tells you the stature of the man.
Bolt's stature was confirmed at the 2016 Rio Olympics. The same pressures were there. Gatlin was back, and the weight of expectation was at its heaviest. He'd already gone where no other athlete in track and field history had been, by defending both the 100 and 200-meter Olympic titles in London 4 years earlier. Only 2 others had won 9 athletics gold medals previously. Paavo Nurmi, and Carl Lewis, which was what Bolt would equal if he completed his third clean sweep.
It is extraordinarily significant if he can pull this off, because no athlete has ever done this. He's the first athlete ever to repeat as 100, 200, and 4x100 meter Olympic gold medalist, having done it in 2008 and then repeated again in 2012. To do that again in 2016 to 3 different times is incredible. I mean, it is on par with nothing, really. I mean, I think that's really, I can't think of anything that, you could compare that to.
With sporting immortality at his fingertips, the Jamaican superstar did what he'd been doing for the previous 8 years. Delivered. Still to come on the Immortals, the conversation that changed athletics forever. Usain Bolt's search for immortality meant he had to match the effort of a select group of track and field icons. Paavo Nurmi was known as the Flying Finn, and he won 9 Olympic gold medals to go with 22 world records in distances ranging from 1,500 meters to 20 kilometers. American Carl Lewis incredibly won 4 of his 9 gold medals at the One Olympics, 1984 in Los Angeles. At the turn of the 20th century, another American long jumper, Ray Urey, won 8 gold. And the graceful Allyson Felix joined the list with 2 relay golds at the Rio Olympics, bringing her overall medal haul to 9. Usain Bolt loved playing cricket in Trelawney, the small town in northwest Jamaica where his parents ran the local grocery store. He first realized he had a gift for running after taking up a bet with his cricket coach.
First race that I actually won was when I was 10. My cricket coach bet me to actually run at my sports day, and if I won, I would get a box lunch, and I actually won, so it was great, so I got a free box lunch.
By 15, he was a world junior champion, and in 2004, he was the youngest member of Jamaica's Olympic track team. Unfortunately, a leg injury hampered his preparation, and Bolt's Olympic debut was an inglorious exit in the opening round of the 200 meters. At the 2007 World Championships in Osaka, the world had its first real glimpse of this extraordinary talent. Bolt took silver behind American Tyson Gay in the 200 meters. He thought he'd arrived, but his coach Glenn Mills had other ideas. The 21-year-old was convinced he'd worked hard in the lead-up, but he hadn't even scratched the surface of what was required. And Mills let him know in no uncertain terms. You didn't put in any work. You didn't even go to the gym. From that moment, Bolt was a different athlete. He did everything his coach said, and the results came quickly. By the time he arrived at the Beijing Olympics, the Jamaican already owned the 100-meter world record. Fueled by a diet of chicken nuggets, that was all he deemed edible at the athlete's village, Bolt produced one of the most extraordinary performances in history. Bolt was so far ahead of the rest that he had time to slow down and smile for the cameras before crossing the line in a world record time of 9.69 seconds. We've never seen anything like that before. He backed it up by setting another new world record in the 200 meters, clocking 19.3 seconds to break Michael Johnson's mark, which had stood since 1996. That was just the entree, given the Berlin World Championships 12 months later were even more breathtaking. It was there when Bolt went even faster. The 100-meter record was lowered to 9.58 seconds, while the 200-meter record incredibly became 19.19 seconds. Athletics had never seen anyone like Bolt, and together with his laid-back personality and fun-loving attitude, the sport had struck gold. His dance moves and celebrations, including the trademark lightning bolt, inspired kids across the world. Everyone wanted to be like Bolt, and rather than be daunted by the pressure and expectation, he simply smiled and kept winning gold. He broke his own Olympic record to win the 100 meters at the 2012 London Olympics, and just missed by 0.02 of a second in doing it in the 200 meters. The question now wasn't about Bolt winning. That was a given. It was about how fast can a human being travel. Standing at 195 centimeters, the sport had never seen a physical specimen like him, with scientists analyzing his every moment to try and work out the magic of Bolt.
But look at Usain Bolt run that turn. He's streaking away. He's really turning it on in this final. Dixon second place, Lemaitre third, but there's only one Usain Bolt. One of the fastest times in history again.
It would be a wonderful feat for me to run 9.4. I think people are looking forward to me to run 9.4. So for me, I train hard. I never think about time. It's always about the gold medal. But to run 9.4 would be a great feat. So I'm definitely going to push myself to do my best.
The gold medals in Rio convinced Bolt of two things. Father Time was creeping up, and with the chasing pack closing, the 2017 World Championships in London would be his swan song. It also told him that he'd achieved what he'd been aiming for from the moment he crossed the line in Beijing 8 years earlier: immortality.
Because I want to be one of the greatest. I want to be among the greats, and without this Olympics, I would be great, yes, but I don't think I would be in the bracket as Muhammad Ali, and Pele, and the great footballers, Cristiano Ronaldo, all these guys. That's what I want. Now that I've retired, I'm going to retire from the sport. When people are talking about, you have to work hard to be the best, they say that. Look at Usain Bolt, you know what I mean? Look at Muhammad Ali. I want to be in that sentence. That's what I'm working towards.
Bolt's love for Manchester United and football is an itch he wants to scratch, with regular hints that he'd love to do a trial at Old Trafford. There has already been a movie on his life, I Am Bolt, which was released following his Rio heroics.
I'm knowing that when people watch this, they will feel the same way that I'm feeling. And that's what I want the people to see, the struggles, the pain, the triumph, and just the stress that I've been through, and then have more insights also on my life. Because most people feel like what I do when I act weird and goofy on the camera, they feel like I'm pretending, I'm acting, but that's how I genuinely am when I'm by myself or just chilling with my friends. That's just who I am as a person.
His latest business venture is a new concept for track and field called Nitro Athletics, a revolutionary teams-based event that aims to do what 2020 did for cricket. Bolt competed in the opening of the series in Australia in February, but his visit was initially overshadowed by news that he'd been forced to return his 4x100-meter relay gold medal from the Beijing Olympics. His Jamaican teammate Nestor Carter had tested positive to a banned stimulant after retests of samples taken back in 2008.
Well, initially disappointed, of course, but in life, things happen. I'm not sad. I'm waiting to see what Nestor's going to do, if he's going to appeal or whatever. So right now, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. But I gave out my medal, so I'm just focused on here now. I'm here in Nitro to run, so I have to focus on that.
While the magnificent golden triple may be no longer, in no way does it diminish the extraordinary career of track and field's GOAT. Up next on the Immortals, the trailblazers whose domination is unprecedented in the world of track and field. 63 world pole vault records between them. Sergei Bubka and Yelena Isinbayeva live on another planet when it comes to sporting greatness. Not a lot was known about a 19-year-old vaulter from the Soviet Union by the name of Sergei Bubka at the 1983 World Championships in Helsinki. That soon changed. The gold medal there was followed inside 12 months by the world outdoor and indoor records. And so started an extraordinary 15-year domination of the event. Bubka won an incredible 6 world titles, although strangely only 1 Olympic gold medal in Seoul in 1988. At Barcelona in 1992, he failed to clear a height. 4 years later in Atlanta, a heel injury forced him out, while he was suspended force by Sydney 2000, again eliminated without a clearance. Despite the Olympic anomaly, Bubka dragged pole vault into the conscience of sports fans with his world record-breaking achievements. I love pole vault because it's a professor's sport. One must not only run and jump, but one must think. 35 times Bubka set new world records, 18 indoor and 17 outdoor, with his career best of 6.15 meters, coming in his homeland of the Ukraine in 1993. The record remained for 21 years before Frenchman Renaud Lavillenie returned to the same competition in Donetsk and broke it by 1 centimeter, with Bubka watching on in the crowd. Bubka had remained a key figure in the sport in retirement, becoming vice president of the IAAF, and in 2015 was narrowly beaten by Sebastian Coe for the top job.
Well, top priorities, of course, for us today is how we can bring the youth and kids to our sport, to secure our future, to attract them. It means we must do activities and speak on the same language, and of course to very well understand what they're thinking.
Apart from his incredible CV, Bubka's greatest legacy was the generation he inspired to take up the sport. And one of those was a young Russian gymnast by the name of Yelena Isinbayeva. Sergei was a role model for many of us athletes. He was a star at the time I was starting. It was my goal from the beginning to set up 36 world records. She got to 28. Isinbayeva found the pole vault after being told she was too tall to continue as a gymnast. Within 6 months of taking up the event, the 16-year-old won gold at the 1998 World Youth Games. A World Junior title followed in 2000, where Isinbayeva also made her Olympic debut in Sydney, failing to get through qualifying. Her first world record came in 2003, and she then went to the 2004 Olympics in Athens as the favorite. Isinbayeva set a new world record in claiming Olympic gold, which triggered a domination of the sport. She became the first woman to clear the magical 5-meter barrier in London in July 2005. At the world titles in Helsinki, she went higher again, clearing 5.01 meters to win by a record margin of 41 centimeters. Another world record of 5.05 meters was cleared to claim her second Olympic gold in Beijing in 2008, with Isinbayeva immediately thinking about going higher.
I think it's possible to jump 520 and even 530. It all will depend from my health, from my personal conditions, because technically there is no problem to high. It's only psychological questions, you know. It's just only you see that on a bar and you see that it's too high. But if I don't see about it, so it's possible to jump.
In one of the biggest shocks seen in track and field for years, Isinbayeva did the unthinkable in the final of the 2009 World Championships. She no-heighted. while she bounced back a month later to set yet another new record of 5.06 meters. There were cracks appearing in the Russians' armory. Isinbayeva took time out of the sport, returning for the London 2012 Olympics, where she grabbed bronze and then followed it up with a hometown gold medal at the 2013 Moscow World Championships.
Yes, it was a wonder night for me, I would say, wonder night, because my dream comes true tonight. Yes, I become world champion again. I'm the best in the world, so this night feeling.
And now in the future, what is the plan?
To become a mom, to get pregnant and to born baby, and then to try to come back again into sport.
Following the birth of her daughter Ava in 2014, Isinbayeva set her sights on finishing her career with a third Olympic gold in Rio.
I have everything that one can possibly have in sport. 2 Olympic medals, numerous world records of the World's Championship and Europe's Championship. I've been recognized as the best, so I've achieved everything that there is to achieve in sport. To what I already have, only a gold medal can be added.
Unfortunately, there was to be no fairy tale farewell for the pole vault queen. Despite not being implicated specifically, Isinbayeva didn't get to Rio after the entire Russian track and field team was banned following a widespread doping scandal. While the end didn't do justice to the journey for both Bubka and Isinbayeva, their legacy was safe. They were already immortals of athletics. When we return, the Kiwi who dominated the world. Nine gold medals. A 5-year winning streak. No other female athlete has imposed herself on an event like Valerie Adams. It started in Melbourne at the 2006 Commonwealth Games. A 21-year-old Valerie Adams won the shot put gold medal for New Zealand. No one anticipated then the significance of the moment. That victory started a stunning sequence, which saw Adams win a gold medal at every major championships, until injury forced her to miss the 2015 World Titles. Included in that extraordinary run was a 5-year winning streak that lasted 56 competitions between 2010 and 2015. Adams also became the only woman to win 4 consecutive world titles in the same event. This put her in rarefied air, and in 2014, she was nominated for the Laureus Sports Award alongside Ethiopian distance star Genzebe Dibaba and tennis greats Lee Na and Serena Williams.
I'm just happy to be here. This is almost like the icing of the cake, being named the top 5 females in the world in every sport. That's quite amazing in itself.
Her second Olympic gold at London 2012 was memorable for all the wrong reasons. Adams was denied the glory of standing on top of the dais by Belarusian drug cheat Nadzia Ostapchu, who won the event but was disqualified after testing positive immediately afterwards.
I was quite sad and depressed, and a lot of emotions went through me, but I think one thing is that, I'd never forgive her, never will. She's tainted the sport, she's tainted our event, and it's something that she shouldn't have done. The worst thing about it, I think, was that she took the moment away.
After being struck down by multiple injuries, Adams was back to her best in 2016 in time for Rio, where she was attempting to make history by winning 3 consecutive Olympic gold medals. The towering Kiwi looked set to rewrite the record books until America's Michelle Carter produced a stunning 20.63-meter throw on her last attempt to steal the gold medal.
I came in here and I gave it everything I got, and it's the best performance I've done in 2 years. So I cannot be mad, I cannot be frustrated, I cannot be disappointed. With time, I've been able to process it, and I'm at peace. And happy to know that this is my 4th Olympics and I have 3 Olympic medals now. Sure, the gold medal would have been wonderful, but the silver medal is just as beautiful.
In 2017, the shot put superstar became Dame Valerie in New Zealand's honours list. Never had a title been more warranted for someone who'd been a beacon for her small country around the globe. It fitted perfectly with Adams' other title, an Immortal.